Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your relationship isn't built on love, but on an invisible debt you've been desperately trying to repay. Sound familiar? You're not alone. In today's world of swipes and likes, modern love has taken on a whole new meaning, and it's not always pretty. We've all been there, giving our all, sacrificing endlessly, and hoping that somehow, someday, it'll all be worth it. But what if I told you that this isn't love at all? What if, instead of nurturing a genuine connection, you're actually trapped in an emotional debt cycle that's slowly draining your self-worth? Welcome to the world of emotional capitalism, a term coined by sociologist Eva Illouz. It's a place where our most intimate feelings have become commodities, traded like stocks on the emotional market. We invest our hearts, expecting returns that often never come. And in this twisted economy of affection, many of us find ourselves bankrupt, emotionally speaking. Think about it. How many times have you bent over backwards for someone hoping they'd finally see your worth? How often have you swallowed your needs, thinking that if you just give a little more, they'll finally love you the way you deserve? This isn't love. It's a transaction. And it's time we called it out for what it is. In this invisible emotional marketplace, love becomes something to be earned, not freely given. We start to believe that affection is a reward for good behavior, a prize for our relentless efforts. But here's the kicker. True love doesn't keep score. It doesn't demand payment or expect returns. It's spontaneous, mutual, and, most importantly, it doesn't leave you feeling like you're constantly in the red. The problem is, many of us have been conditioned to see relationships through this transactional lens. We've internalized the idea that love is something we must work for, suffer for, and prove ourselves worthy of. We mistake our own suffering for devotion, wearing our emotional exhaustion like a badge of honor. Look how much I'm willing to endure for love, we tell ourselves, as if pain were a measure of our commitment. But let's get real for a moment. This isn't romantic, it's toxic. This belief that love must be earned through relentless giving is a one-way ticket to emotional burnout. It's a cycle that feeds on our insecurities, constantly whispering that if we just try a little harder, give a little more, maybe then we'll be worthy of love. The consequences of this mindset are far-reaching and deeply damaging. It's not just about feeling unfulfilled in our relationships. It's about the trauma we inflict on ourselves in the process. Every unreciprocated effort, every ignored gesture of affection, chips away at our self-worth. We start to believe that we're not enough, that there's something fundamentally unlovable about us. This cycle of hope and disappointment becomes a familiar dance. We give, we wait, we hope, and when our efforts aren't met with the love we crave, we double down. If I just do more, we think, and the cycle begins anew. It's an exhausting merry-go-round of emotional labor, and it's time we got off the ride. But here's the thing. Breaking free from this pattern isn't easy. It requires a fundamental shift in how we view love and our own worth. It means rejecting the transactional logic that's been drilled into us by a society that commodifies everything, even our deepest emotions. The first step, accepting that not all of our expectations will be met. This doesn't mean lowering our standards or settling for less than we deserve. It means understanding that love isn't a vending machine where we insert kindness and affection comes out. Real relationships are messy, imperfect, and sometimes downright frustrating. But they're also built on mutual respect, genuine care, and the understanding that both parties are equally valuable. Next, we need to reclaim our self-worth outside of our relationships. Your value as a person is undetermined by how much someone else loves you or how hard you work to earn their affection. You are inherently worthy of love, respect, and kindness. Full stop. No amount of emotional labor can increase or decrease that fundamental truth. This journey of breaking free from emotional debt isn't just about changing our relationships with others. It's about transforming our relationship with ourselves. It's about learning to give ourselves the love and acceptance we've been desperately seeking from others. It's about recognizing that we don't need to earn love through suffering or sacrifice. True love, the kind that nourishes our souls and helps us grow, is mutual. It's a dance of give and take, where both partners contribute freely and joyfully. It's not about keeping score or trying to outdo each other in displays of devotion. It's about two whole, complete individuals choosing to share their lives and hearts with each other. So, how do we move towards this healthier model of love? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to the patterns in your relationships. Are you constantly giving without receiving? Do you feel like you're always walking on eggshells, trying to prove your worth? These are red flags that you might be caught in the trap of emotional capitalism. Once you're aware, it's time to set boundaries. This can be scary, especially if you're used to bending over backwards to please others. But remember, healthy boundaries aren't selfish. They're necessary for any balanced relationship. Start small. Say no to things that don't align with your values or needs. Express your feelings honestly, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. As you work on setting boundaries, also focus on building your self-esteem, independent of your relationships. Pursue hobbies, nurture friendships, set personal goals. Remind yourself daily of your inherent worth. The stronger your sense of self, the less likely you are to fall into patterns of emotional debt. It's also crucial to communicate openly with your partner about these issues. If you're in a relationship where you feel constantly indebted, have an honest conversation about your feelings. A partner who truly cares for you will be willing to work on creating a more balanced dynamic. Remember, breaking free from emotional debt isn't about becoming cold or detached. It's about creating space for genuine, reciprocal love to flourish. It's about recognizing that true intimacy can't be bought, sold, or earned. It can only be freely given and received. As we navigate the complex landscape of modern relationships, let's challenge the notion that love is something we must constantly prove ourselves worthy of. Let us reject the idea that affection is a currency to be traded or a debt to be repaid. Instead, let's embrace a vision of love that is generous, spontaneous, and mutually affirming. You are not a sum of your sacrifices. Your worth is not measured by how much you're willing to endure for love. You are inherently deserving of love and respect, just as you are. It's time to break free from the chains of emotional debt and step into relationships that truly nourish your soul. Because at the end of the day, that's what real love is all about. Not a transaction, but a genuine connection between two whole, worthy individuals.